Mike, turn your games down.
Hi everybody, welcome to our movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's trying to kill gods with me tonight?
I am everyone's favorite wolf child, Joe Butler.
I am Phoebe Stanton, and you keep using that word monk. I do not think it means what you think it means.
Good joke.
I'm Kyle, and I smell like a human.
That was a good one.
That was. So we are here to talk about a movie that should have been on this podcast a lot sooner. Princess Mononoke, directed by Hayao Miyazaki. I pronounced that wrong, didn't I?
Yep.
And written by Hayao Miyazaki. And then came out... Miyazaki?
Yep, there you go.
Okay, production company Studio Ghibli, distributed by Toho, and came out in 1997.
Yep.
1997?
Yeah, this is 97.
Yeah.
1997 was kind of a baller year for anime. Like,
It was a bullet year for everything, okay?
well, yeah, but, like, especially anime. Like, you don't think about it, but, like, if you go into, like, anime history in 1997, like, so much incredible shit came out that year. Because, like, fucking, that, like, I believe the Utena, the Revolutionary Girl Utena anime TV anime was airing. The end of Ava came out in 97. Like, a lot of really incredible stuff came out in 1997 for anime.
Okay.
Huh? Utena did
So I
start
would
in
like to
97.
start these off with our memories. So I have seen this movie before a long time ago, and then I also saw it in theaters a couple years ago, but I saw it in Japanese, so I couldn't understand a word they were saying, but I did see it in theaters, and then I watched it earlier this week.
Did it have subtitles?
Of course it did, but yes. Yeah, it had subtitles, but otherwise it was just, it just wasn't the same, because this is a movie did I watch in
Mike
English?
watching a sub.
Well, no, it's fine with something that I don't have a history with, but when I have voices already picked out, like Cowboy Bebop, I can only watch it dubbed now because I need to hear Spike Spiegel's voice.
That's a good dub, though. That's, like, one of the best anime dubs, though. Like, for, like, English dubs, like, Cowboy Bebop, one of the best English dubs out there. And that's saying something considering how good the original Japanese version is. Like, you think the English dub is good for Cowboy Bebop. The original Japanese version is also, like, holy shit, really impressive, but somehow, like, that English dub, like, matches how good the original version is. Like, goddamn.
So that's something that I was just thinking about, too, or something I just want to mention. But no, I saw it, I watched it dub. So that's my history with it. What about you, Joe?
So I'm really behind on my Ghibli movies. I think I've talked about this on the last episode, which we did with Grave of the Fireflies. I hadn't seen this till like a year ago because I'm like super behind on like the Ghibli movies. So I didn't watch it till a year ago. And of course, a year ago, I was very good friends with a man who owns a podcast named Mike Albertin. And I went, man, I got to get that motherfucker to watch this. And that's why we're here for the most part. So
Yeah, because this was on your poll.
yeah.
Where you made me do these movies.
You liked it though, I'm hoping at least.
Oh, I'm not complaining. I'm more stating a fact than anything. Sorry. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. No, And then, Phoebe, what's your history?
Alright, so because I was on top of anime for a good amount of time back in the 90s to, let's say, 2010s, I did not see this for the longest time. I think, got it via the Netflix DVD rental service sometime in the early to mid 2010s, but throughout that entire gap, all I ever heard was when people talk about Studio Ghibli, it's that Princess Mononoke is their magnum opus. It's the best it's gonna get. Oh my god, you have to watch Princess Mononoke. And then I finally watched it for the first time and went, man, this was fucking overhyped. Like, I think this is the weakest of the movies I've seen of theirs. So I was hoping to see if that would change with this viewing, and we'll see how this conversation goes.
Okay. And Kyle?
Well, pretty odd with this movie and a lot of Ghibli, because, like, my history with Ghibli goes back a good couple of years. I was actually really lucky with this movie because I actually was able to see it right as it was sort of coming out on VHS and DVD. I actually saw a commercial for this movie, like when it came out when the English dub and it got adapted when it came out back in the 90s, about I think 98, 99 when this came out in English. So like I thought like, what is this? Whoa! And like I didn't know quite what anime was, but it was just like, oh, this is so different. And then like I was hoping I would be able to somehow see it in theaters, but that just never happened because I live in a buttfuck town of nowhere city. I say buttfuck town, but honestly, it's buttfuck city in the Midwest of Canada, and like, Jesus Christ, nothing interesting ever happens here, and it sucks, and et cetera, boo-hoo. Anyways, so I was able to actually rent this from the video store, and I was kind of surprised with this movie. I saw this as a 9-year-old, and I was pretty surprised with the level of violence in it, and like, I liked it, but I don't know if I quite understood it as a 9-year-old. Like, there's a lot to this, watching it, and like, kind of just seeing what it, like, who all these characters are and what the messages of what the quote unquote messages of this film and its comments on just really environmentalism as a whole. Like, I don't think I really got any of it as a 9-year-old, but I was still like astounded by it. I was like, whoa, this is like just incredible. Like, I don't think I've ever seen something like this. And I actually didn't watch this movie until probably decades later, for this podcast, because like, I didn't know if I would be ready for a movie like this, a movie this layered and this deep. And watching it again for this podcast, man, this movie's fucking incredible. Holy shit.
All right.
I'm kind of random when it comes to Ghibli. Like, I feel like a lot of the famous Ghibli movies, like really pretty much almost all the Miyazaki movies, I think Miyazaki is an incredible artist. I think, especially when it comes to manga and anime, he's extremely talented. He's a wonderful artist. That being said, I'm actually not the biggest fan of a lot of his films. When it comes to Ghibli, I'm gonna be the weirdo here. A lot of my favorite Ghibli movies are usually either done by Isao Takahata, rest in peace, or just kind of by like other random people in Ghibli. Like, so a lot of the sort of big time critical darling crowd pleaser kind of movies, like say from Miyazaki, like your Laputa, Castle in the Sky, your Porco Rosso. Well, actually, I don't want to include Porco Rosso because I actually genuinely love that movie. And that might be my favorite Miyazaki. That might be my favorite Miyazaki movie. But you know, your Castle of Cagliostro, or your Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, or you know, your Spirited Away, you know, like a lot of the big time critical darling crowd pleasers. I mean, you know, the movies that got Miyazaki his Oscars, like, it's weird. Like, I understand why those got him his Oscars, and they're impressive feats of cinema and animation as well. I think they're incredible movies, but I like them. I don't love them. But this movie's different. This is a critical this is a big time critical darling that's, you know, has gotten tons of awards, especially in Japan, like award recognition, and has, you know, is quite the critical darling itself. I actually really love this movie. This is probably, like, next to Porco Rosso, my favorite Miyazaki. This movie is just, like, it's weird. Like, I've seen so many movies try to take the messages of environmentalism and just absolutely shit on them and take such a stupid, insulting, just dim-witted take on environmentalism and just, like, and just, like, shrink it down to, like, a Saturday morning cartoon level of bullshit. But this movie, I feel like, is doing so much, and is, like, and it's weird, because, like, everything about this movie is so nuanced, and yet, like, even though the movie is kind of trying to say that there's no, quote-unquote, like, a real villain in this, like, there actually is. And if you're a critical thinking adult, you'll know exactly who the villain is. Sorry, I didn't mean to end it off like kind of just like, you know, like, ooh, cliffhanger. But no, yeah, that's really my memories of this movie. I'm happy that I got to experience it so young, even though, like, I think it might have been a little too much for me, but, like, honestly, I can't believe I got to have that experience. Like, I'm so happy that I did. Like, man, what a movie. Just, it blew my little mind. Just, like, I can't believe animation can be like this. Animation can do this. It can do that. It can talk about these things, and it can be so much more than just, you know, your standard affair. Like, just, man, this movie opened me to so many different worlds, and I'm so happy for it.
Oh, that's awesome. And Joe, do you have a plot summary for this one?
Yeah, today we are reviewing Princess Mononoke, the movie that explains why you cannot have industrialism fight Mother Nature and what happens when you get crossed in between it.
That's a good way to put it. All right, I mean, this movie is a lot more violent than I remembered. So I haven't seen it in a bit, and I was like, I knew this movie was violent, but I'm like, man, this movie is violent but good.
It's definitely a PG-13. Like, this is probably one of the more complex and kind of, not adult. It's not like adult, but it's one of the more kind of like layered types of Miyazaki movies. Like, this is something a lot more like, you could totally show kids a lot of Miyazaki movies, but I don't know, like this one, you might want to wait until they're a little older.
Well, yeah, for sure with this one, because it just kind of has that. It has kind of a violent vibe to it. I mean, it has really good moments, and it has a good message that they're trying to tell you about environmentalism and how we're killing our world. And it's unfortunately how accurate that, topical that's becoming, even more so nowadays. So it's like,
yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't make the movie any less good.
No, of course.
I don't know. I mean, the animation also is really good. Like, I had forgotten a lot of this movie when I started watching it. And
this movie is gorgeous. Like,
I was surprised how good it looked still.
Even with, like, some of the modern techniques they're doing in the 90s of, like, slowly kind of incorporating, like, modern techniques and, like, sort of computer animation. Like, even that stuff looks fucking incredible. Like, man, this movie is so pretty.
I think my favorite way, which is also a good way to get people to watch this movie, is, as much as I hate to admit it, this is basically the Legend of Zelda movie. Like, Zelda takes so much inspiration from this.
Oh yeah, especially Breath of the Wild. Like, man, like Breath of the Wild is pretty much just Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, and like Princess Mononoke, but as a video game. Like, another game that like apes like a lot of Miyazaki stuff so hard is Crystallis for the NES. Like, that game is literally just Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, except you're playing as a dude instead of, like, a girl. Where, like, in Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, like, a lot of the main character is the girl. Or in Crystallis, you play as a boy. Where, like, and then, like Breath of the Wild is so much of Princess Mononoke and Nausicaa. Like, oh my god.
I didn't think about that, but you are right. It does definitely have that vibe. And it's a guy with a bow and arrow, and very...
And the sword fights.
Yeah. I never thought about that.
And the horse riding.
Yep. Instead of,
isn't that every Zelda game?
Yes.
Not like this.
Zelda from, like, Ocarina of Time onward. Like, that's when the horse riding stuff came in.
Well, you also have, though, which is my favorite part of this movie, which is the curse arm thing, which they totally very much do steal for fucking Tears of the Kingdom. Like, but they also admitted, like, we stole that from fucking them. We've always wanted to do that.
I love that curse arm. The fact that he's just accidentally sniping people's entire limbs off.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
That one shot of the dude, like, losing his arms, like, holy shit! Like, that's amazing!
Thank God America did not try to do a live-action remake of this, because it would just be instantly rated R, and then be allowed to watch it and learn its message.
Japan didn't try to do a live-action remake, because it's just, like, too fucking grand to be a live action thing. Like, it has to be animated. Like, there's no way in fucking hell this would ever look good live action. It just
Kyle, they never fucking do, but they do it anyway.
Phoebe, I think you might be kind of wrong, not in the live action, not in the show sense. I think there is a stage play of this. I'm like 30% sure there's a stage play.
That's different.
I think you can do a stage play, but like if you were to try to make an American adaptation, we are the group that likes blood and stuff. If an arm were to come off, it would be pumping blood out, and then it would get an R rating.
Oh,
a stage play you can.
This movie should get an R rating anyway,
especially if it's something like a kabuki stage play, because then you could just have, if they wanted to simulate blood, instead of spurting liquid, they could do like red ribbons.
But that also reminds me of, what was it? I also say Zelda, but also super. What is that fucking other game that I like?
Rabbit.
What?
Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, Shadow.
I love fuck yes.
Shadow of the Colossus is also a lot of like Mononoke, like a lot of the kind of like layered kind of political and environmental messages of like
just
Mononoke.
Anything by that guy.
Yeah.
Because like Aiko feels a lot like a Ghibli thing
You're talking about like Fumito Ueda?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to remember what his name was, Ueda. Anything that Ueda touches eventually feels like the same type of whimsy that Miyazaki does.
Fumito Ueda. I'll say that I would say that a lot of Fumito Ueda's stuff is a bit more dark than a lot of Ghibli stuff, but like both creators tend to do a lot of very kind of layered messaging with their stories and like their related things.
Okay. I kind of know what you guys are talking about. I mean, this is just one of those movies, like, I remember seeing this one a few times when I was a kid, when I was younger, and I remember being like, this is a pretty intense movie.
Yeah,
Still
it is.
think that way. I mean, I was a little bored during this watching.
I wasn't.
Well, it's better than Grave of Fireflies. I didn't cry, so that was nice.
Well, that's kind of a weird thing to
What
say.
is crying?
That's kind of a weird thing to say because it's not better than Grave of the Fireflies, but Grave of the Fireflies is very much its own like subcategory of an animated movie. Like Grave of the Fireflies is Isao Takahata talking directly to the audience and just being like, "Hey, this is what like people like me had to fucking Well, no, but it's also saying like this is what people like me had to fucking go through. This is what we survived with. Like this is what happened. Like this is how people died during the war." And like that movie's messaging is so fucking specific and on to a certain point where something like like once again with something like this, it's a lot more of a different thing. Like I don't think either movie is better than the other because like fucking like Grave of the Fireflies is so much of its own category film.
I should say I enjoyed this one more.
I think that's a bit more fair because I was just gonna say like
no, they're both good movies.
Because like let's be careful how we word things like that. Like you don't say things you can't take back.
I can take anything back. I'm the editor.
I will admit there are some Ghibli movies that as I am slowly being asked to sometimes make a list for Mike. I am thinking of things he needs to at least watch once. But also, it is kind of funny just to be like, all right, Mike, time to traumatize you. But I know this movie's traumatizing. Well, you got to get your licks in somehow, bud. Come on, let's do this.
I mean,
not any French
at least you're
horror films,
traumatizing with something that I can't even say what I was thinking of saying. Traumatizing, not just for the sake of traumatizing, because I feel like Martyrs isn't a traumatizing film for the sake of traumatization.
Okay, holy shit.
There's something there, at least in the French version.
I'm still amazed that of all the fucking movies you guys got Mike to fucking watch for like the film episodes of his podcast, you got him to watch goddamn Martyrs. That
wasn't.
Listen, Mike, we're not having you watch Irredeemable or fucking Human Centipede Part 2.
Or
I don't plan to.
Or Antichrist.
At least I would watch Antichrist exclusively for Willem Dafoe's cock, to be fair.
Is that the movie? Yeah,
that's the movie where they had to downsize it because he was too well endowed.
Okay, someone needs to remind me that that's that movie because my husband keeps asking me and I don't remember to ask people what movie that is.
I mean, just be careful if you watch it for the cock because, like, Antichrist is a pretty fucking, like, holy shit movie.
Anything by Lars is fucked up. Like,
Lars von Trier.
Jack built goes places.
Yeah, like, get ready. I'm just saying, get ready for Lars von Trier. That dude doesn't fucking back away. Like, his movies are experiences. But yeah, I think...
Okay. One thing I want to talk about, the opening of this movie, I think is very well done, where you have the character who doesn't really, who's in this small town, and then all of a sudden shit hits the fan when this fucking boar shows up that's infected. Yeah. Like, I love the way they do it, though.
To be fair, they were not sure it was a boar at first. There was something coming towards them.
Yeah.
The worm creature.
Well, yeah, infected by the demon thing, the demon virus. Like, I call it a virus, but even then, like, that was back in the days before what we knew what could be considered a virus was a virus. Like, it's just a weird demon infection, like a plague almost.
I don't know. I saw it as like the inherent hatred that humankind has for literally everything that isn't humankind has infected this deity.
Yep.
Yes.
That's a good way to put it. I mean, that is what we do. Mm-hmm.
It goes
hate everything, including each other.
Yep.
Yeah, and it goes to the whole thing, and it's one thing that I kind of wish John was here. John probably knows what I was talking about, if anything, because he's a little more familiar than I am. Mike, I think, is too. So I don't know if y'all know either. This also has to do a whole thing where this is also the emphasis, which I'm just recently now learning about through watching more and more anime. Japan had like an abnormally fast industrial movement too, as well.
Yeah,
so this was
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It did.
Oh yeah.
this was a thing where, like, if you lived, funny enough, as Kyle said, if you live in the middle of buttfuck nowheres and you kill a pig and you go, why is there a big hard metal lump in the pig? You're not going to know what it is.
We need people to understand, and this is like a major meme joke, but around the world, different cultures and where they were, like in an industrialized timeline, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
If you were to have a D&D setting where a fucking, what feels like a medieval samurai, a Victorian suitor, and like Blackbeard were all in your party, that is historically accurate.
Oh.
Yeah,
So, like,
there's a lot of different things going on in history.
If you watch
You're not
Demon
wrong.
Slayer and go, this is based in like the 17th century or even the 15th century, no, Demon Slayer is like World War One.
Yeah.
I just really like the way they do it and like how that leads him on this giant quest because he's trying to figure out about the boar that came into his town and cursed him. And he's like, hey, I got to get uncursed. And what the fuck do I do? Like, I like that. I think it's a great concept that they have.
Oh yeah. So much world building comes from him trying to find out about what the curse is. Like, I think that's also incredible. Like, that's such amazing storytelling. Like,
Yes.
so much opens up just from that.
I also like to think that that's also kind of part of like what the story is because, so obviously we get into it a little bit later. A lot of the reason why this is happening is because we find out there's kind of an internal war going on where part of a civilization is mining up the ore and shooting animals with it. And technically, if they weren't doing that, that pig wouldn't have gone into his home and whatever. So
yeah, he wouldn't have been there.
Yeah, I just see it as a way of this is the way of someone would have came by sooner or later because they're fucking around too hard.
Oh yeah. Like it's I think I'm not trying to get further into the story, but I just want to say like I always find it interesting that like I think especially with Ashitaka and how he tries to put everything together of what's going around him in this world, and like especially near the end he says that like, well, like we can all just live in this cohabitation, and then it's just like, no, sooner or later something fucked would have happened, and someone would have gone into a place that they don't know, like that they would have never known of, and would have accidentally stumbled into something bad. Like, you know, like I think that's such an interesting concept.
I mean, that's kind of, you do see that here. I mean, the idea that you're using iron, which at this time would have been a new thing, to fight, nature, and you're destroying the forest. So nature is like, they don't understand why you're doing that.
Yeah.
So
I also see it as a weird thing too, where as much as, and I was talking, funny enough, I was talking to my friends about this while we were eating because I went out to with my friends a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You also have the significance of nature's also, because this is like the first half of the movie, so we're fine discussing it now. Nature kind of has a thing where they're like, well, fuck humanity. Why are they stomping all over us? And even Princess Mononoke is like, humans are going to do what they do, but if you fight back harder, they're going to fight us harder back. Like, there's nothing we can do.
But even like San, who is that is the title character of Princess Mononoke, like even she is just like, even quote unquote as a human, she's like, I hate humans, they're disgusting. Like, and it's like, yeah, I get that. Having that opinion, that mindset, I totally get that. Like,
she also doesn't know she's human, I don't think. So.
Yeah.
I mean, raise your hand. No, I just want to say, raise your hand if you're a human who fights who doesn't like humans. I'll raise my hand.
Yeah, what up?
I'll raise my hand.
None of us are on
sorry.
camera, unfortunately, and I'm not going to be on camera right now.
Yeah, but sorry, what were you saying? I just want to bring that up because it's a good point.
It is a good point.
But what were you saying, Kyle?
Oh no, I was just saying that like I think she's always sort of known, but like to her though, the love she feels from her family that she has, like that love is strong enough to conquer everything else. I know, like that sounds so schmaltzy, like, oh come on, power, like Kyle, the power of love, like no, like the power of genuine family love from any type of thing that's strong enough to conquer everything else. Like the power of the love that San's, mother, the spirit, the goddess, and the other wolves, like the power of the love they gave her as family, that was strong enough to literally block out everything else. And I think that's what made her feel like she wasn't, that she, even if she was human, she was different, that she's not like a human. And I think, yeah, like that's why this is one of the reasons of why I think this movie is so much more layered than any other type of movie I've seen that tries to handle this topic of the environment and environmentalism.
I mean,
I
the way I
think-
took it is also that she wasn't, like, at this point, she's stronger than a normal human, or maybe I was misreading that.
No,
Oh,
I wouldn't say so.
She
I would.
is, but kind of like she knows as much as what she was trained for by the wolves. Like, sorry, I feel like that seems like. Oh my god, I feel like that just sounded so stupid. I'm so sorry. Oh my God.
No, it makes sense.
This is like a multi-layered film because it's not just about
Yeah.
industrialization versus nature. It can also be seen as like the hubris of man stepping on God. Or there's so many ways to see it. And I think one of the most interesting things to build on what you said, Kyle, is like I don't know if Mora and the other wolves love her, but like they definitely put up with her and appreciate her because there's this distinction between emotion and logic that is hidden in this film that I don't think gets talked enough about because humans in this film objectively hate and feel. But like the gods are looking down.
Yes, they are.
They say the words disgusted and stuff.
No,
And so they only get turned into demons when they start hating. But then you look at Moro and she's not demon, but then she's saying like, you need to leave before sunrise and everything. And that's not hate. It is something higher looking down at an insect and saying, please stop crawling on my table.
Yes, very much, Phoebe, you make such a good point about this too, especially of the gods and the goddesses of these parts of the planet in this movie. Like, they are very, very much above everything else, and especially humans. Like, that's not even like saying that as like, oh, you think you're better. Like, no, they are. Like, they just are.
Looking down on something and hating something can look the same. They are two distinctly different things.
I think too, where like I say that, I say like the power of love. I think where the love is, though, it's different from every type of being. Where on as a human, with like where she is as a human, her love for her family is at a much higher level of love than, say, how the other wolves may love San back. And I know that sounds like, oh, Kyle, like the creatures, they don't feel that love, but like I think they do, but it's not at the exact same level to how a human like San may love her family. Like, they have more of a mutual respect and a bond to San, and they also may have some love to her, but it's more that like San's love is a lot more of a a human love and a different type of love than how San's family may love her. Like, sorry, I feel like
it's all right.
I feel like I'm probably sounding like a total idiot trying to explain this. It's just like
no. So
I also take it as they were raised from as a child. She got her as a baby, so she's just their sister. I mean, that's all.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm also trying to say. Thank you, Mike, for saying that, because it's like that's just a thing that they do. Like, they found her probably as a baby, and it's just like, we're gonna take care of this being.
You have not been infected with humanity.
No, exactly.
Because this movie kind of makes it feel like humanity is a disease.
It can be.
It is.
Can be.
Like, in the view of this movie, it is. Like,
yes.
And like, where they probably find San as a baby, it's just like, you're just a little being. Like, we're going to take care of you, and we are you'll be away from everything terrible. Because
she makes that comment. She's like, I was going to eat her, but then I decided to raise her instead.
Yeah, because that's how those animals survive. Yeah, because that's who they are. That's what those animals do. That's what wolves do. Like,
yeah.
So
in this case, she's a god, but yes.
The other way I also see it, though, which is funny that you do mention that, Kyle, is that it's also supposed to bounce off of the other group of humans as well, because you have Princess Mononoke, who is willing to do whatever she can for the wolves because they are her family. You also have, what is it, like Lady Shizune? Is that what her name is?
Lady Eboshi?
Lady Eboshi.
Lady Eboshi, the Iron Mistress?
Yeah, where she has lepers and she has ex-hookers who are all willing to do whatever they can for her because she loves them equally. Like, so it's the same concept as that as well. That like that's also really interesting too.
No, of course.
We do what we can
Mhm.
for the benefit of the pack.
Yes.
It just so happens that these two packs, their ideologies, while very similar, cannot coexist.
No, because
Except they can, and that's Ashitaka's whole thing, is let's let go of the hate, and he's trying to help both sides.
Which you can.
You can and you can't. Sorry, I know that sounds like, Kyle, that's fucking stupid. Like, you either can or, like, no, you can, but you also can't. Because sooner or later in that type of a struggle, all of these dynamics, like, someone is just going to get the upper hand, and at that point, like, you're either helping that side or you're helping another side. Like, you have to pick something, because that's how that works.
Well, the way I see... Go ahead, Mike.
I think this character is such a good character too, and all the things that they do with him are very well done. What's his name? Ashitaka. I really like him. Like, I think he's just great in this.
We also have another trope that I've become really familiar with, and I kind of love it. Technically, I don't know what the name is, but they do it in this as well as Prince of Persia. And it's supposed to be an actual thing where, like, the prince comes in and he's got all of his gear. He's got the harness for his deer, his sweet ass deer. He's got the cloak and the hat and everything. But by the end of the movie, he's missing, like, pretty much all of it except, like, his sword.
Which is ironically, like, I know Miyazaki and kind of, you know, where he kind of, what he is as a person when it comes to video games, but, like, it's kind of funny, like, that trope is very much a common thing in video games, more than it is ever, like, in a movie or a TV show or, you know, a piece of animation. I always find that, like, kind of funny. It's like, that's actually used quite a lot in video games.
Has
from each other, it's fine.
Miyazaki said stuff about video games?
Well, no, it's not he said stuff, but it's, like, a little weird when it comes to video games, because, like, something that I always found kind of, like, I understand his frustration, because, like, oh, that's so sad. I know there was technically a licensed video game based off of Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, for a Japanese PC computer. I can't
That's why I
remember
didn't know this.
I don't remember the exact Japanese PC, but it was for a home computer in Japan, and, like, the game was made into the most, like, simplest, like, really shoddily made, like, video game of, like, this movie is so nuanced and it has so many layers, and the video game just boiled it down to, oh, you're flying, go shoot stuff, and it's like, yeah, I can understand Miyazaki's frustrations with that. It's like, oh, not, like, the video game isn't also nuanced. That's kind of sad. Speak for Miyazaki, you're saying, like, oh, Miyazaki hates video games, but it's just like, no, I can kind of understand that, where, like, you create something, and it's like, oh, it's going to be made into a video game, and you're like, okay, well, I hope it just turns out well, and it's just like, oh, it's just...
Well, that's also old video games, and things are different, so...
Yeah, I think Miyazaki, I think he does one of those people that does say that. I don't think he considers video games to be art, but that's also, I think that I'm not 100% sure, like, at all.
It's not even, I don't think it's anything like he said anything like that drastic, but it's just like, you know, I think a lot of people from older generations sometimes feel that way about video games as a whole, and, like, I feel like I get where they're coming from, because, like, you know, those older types of generations, like they don't, like, they have come from so much of a different environment of what can be considered art, where for a lot of younger generations, what we consider as art, you know, it can be so much more, like, anything can be art, where to an older generation, where from someone like, say, Miyazaki's generation, it's like, no, only this can be art, or only that can be art, or art can only be done by working really hard and bleeding your blood, sweat, and tears, and, like, it just, I think, you know, like this movie itself, the conversation is so much more nuanced than just, like, say someone like, say, Hayao Miyazaki or Roger Ebert saying, like, oh, video games aren't art, and then, you know, you piss off all the gamer nerds.
It's so weird.
And then they get all butthurt, and then it turns into a big shouting match of, like, no, video games are art because I say so!
Speaking of video games and stuff, I think everybody should look at the group chat right now.
I did. Nino, how the fuck you say it?
Nino Kuni!
Yeah,
Thank you. That's a good game.
Nino Kuni's incredible, and Studio Ghibli did a great job helping to create that game. beautiful game, really sweet. The mechanics are so easy to understand. Like it's a great beginner RPG too. Like anybody can play it. Like literally anyone can play it. Like little kids, older adults. Like it has such a nice accessibility to it that like anyone can really understand it and play it and not have to worry about like, oh, this will be a complicated video game. It's like, no, it's not. Don't worry, it's just this, you know.
But one thing I want to talk about is how well, like, with the character as he's traveling, how he just kind of ends up like in the Iron Town. I like how the way that it does that it moves the story along. I think is also really well done. And like the forest where everybody's just scared of, like with the people he rescues. I do also really like the little white guys that run along. I think they're just adorable.
Oh, the Kadakas or whatever
the little forest spirits. They are cute. Yeah. I like the little. I know it becomes a lot like more as the film goes on, but I like the little like clicky sound they make. Well, it's not like a click. It's like a clack. Like it's like a sound. Like I can't do the sound. I'm sorry, but it's like, you know, like it has that like they make that like a clicky clack sound when they like tilt their heads. Like that's they're so cute, and I love when they just kind of stand there and observe. We're like, oh, look at the faces.
Okay, Phoebe?
I just like got the fucking thought in my head of somebody doing clicker training using Princess Mononoke.
What's clicker training?
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
I really wonder for like the sound.
You got problems.
For like, God damn it, Mike. I really wonder for like
fuck you, but I know I do.
I really wonder for like, you know, like making this movie, like for like the Foley work, how did they make that sound? Like what sound is that? It sounds so like it's kind of it's soothing, but it's also not.
I would assume it's wooden planks being slapped together or something.
It's something simple like that.
Sounds like
something like maybe like two little wooden things, just like click clack click clack, like that sound. Like it's just I like it. It's so nice.
All right.
So it's the same instrument they use during like Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train. It's the rubber ball that's on the spring and it just hits the plank of wood or whatever.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah.
And I love the Kodamas, Kodakas, whatever the fuck they're called, because they're supposed to represent good luck.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're showing up for a human even after all this time, they show up to Ashitaka, it's like they have no qualms. As long as you don't have hate in your heart, they'll show up.
Yeah. They just come out and like just look at you, and I think that's so cute. Like they're just standing there, like. And
having the other humans be so scared of them because they're the ones that are killing the forest, I think is also
and
very
they think,
good.
And like the humans think that they represent something like really bad or like scary, when it's just like no, they just stand there, like they just observe stuff, like that's.
And like they are that in that many scenes of the movie, and they don't do anything, but they are. Despite the fact that they really don't need to be in the movie, they also really do.
Yep.
Because the fact that they are there means that the forest spirit is alive and well.
Yep.
They are there to be foreshadowing for the very, very last shot of the film, I think, in all honesty. Because what's the last shot? It's here's the forest, and a single Kodaka shows up.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, we thought we killed the god. It is still here. It will come back in its physical form. It just needs time to heal or whatever after the ordeal it went through, but nature will always be here.
Yeah. Even if you do the most heinous fucking terrible shit that you could do, like nature will just do. It's nature. That's just what nature is. Like
look at Pripyat or Chernobyl, whatever you want to call it. Nature's taken that back over, and like the plants are eating the radiation. There's all these wonderful,
nature does that.
Weird colored plants now because it adapted.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's incredible about nature, and that's something that like no matter what humanity does, like humanity can never quote unquote win against it. Like nature will just exist.
Life, finds a way.
If you do a better Goldblum than I could ever do, like I feel like I could try to do that, like his not stutter, but his like his spaces, but like I can't get that tone. Like you're so good, Phoebe. I love you.
I'm not. That was off.
Fine, come on.
It was good. Don't.
But it works.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I like it how it shows nature overtaking and like how they're terrified of the
totally.
forest. I think all that is done really well. I'm also a big fan just the way that this movie is in general and the way it flows. I think it does all that stuff really good. One thing I also want to bring up, like we talked about earlier about like the murdering that he does. I love that how he, how confused he is too the first time that the demon just kind of takes over in his arm and just takes off their fucking heads. I'm like, bravo.
Holy shit.
Bravo.
Yeah, but then he stops fighting it after a while. He just accepts it as a part.
Hey, it's great skill. Like you need to go shoot somebody. Go right ahead.
You're
And
in the
he
middle of
uses it to his advantage. Like,
you're in the middle of a fucking war zone, and there is definitely a side of people that are coming for your ass.
Yeah.
he's able to. Oh my god! It's almost like it might be a metaphor I'm realizing for fucking controlling your anger because
Oh yeah.
the scene where he bends the sword. If he wasn't in control, it would have just taken over his arm and sliced that guy in half.
Yeah, this is what I mean by this movie being so fucking layered. Like,
shit,
it's amazing.
I'm trying to go up a rank in this movie.
Telling you.
Like, it's amazing that this movie is also technically still somewhat of a family movie, even for like as violent as it gets, because it's just like, yeah, this movie is so fucking nuanced. Like I've seen so many movies that try to have like an environmental message or try to, talk about like the environment or just, everything that I've seen fucking goes to shit. But somehow Princess Mononoke, it's just like, holy shit, this movie is so genius. Like, god damn it, this is so layered.
I mean, just all the connection with the for what they do when it comes to like the nature stuff. I and just kind of showing like, hey, we need to not fuck with our planet. Like, well done, better than Captain Planet. He's our hero. I like this better.
No Hitler death gaze and Princess Mononoke, huh?
No, we need to steal the forest spirit for a Pokemon in like 10 years for Pokemon.
We already did.
I know. That's the joke. It came out in the 90s. So in 20 years, we will steal the forest spirit for a Pokemon game.
Hey you guys, speaking of Captain Planet, AIDS stinks.
What the fuck?
Yeah, there's an episode where a teenager gets HIV, and it the villain. Yeah, there's an episode where that happens, and the villain, one of the villains of Captain Planet, tries to fearmonger everybody into hating him because of his HIV, and there's a part where the teenager who has HIV is so frustrated, and he goes, "This stinks," and I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty nuanced message. HIV stinks. Yeah.
I'm not joking about the Hitler death gaze, by the way. That is an episode of Captain Planet.
There is also an episode of Captain Planet where there's it's a gang message episode where people are killed in drive-bys and shit, and that's an episode of Captain Planet. That happened.
That's an episode of Captain Planet? What the fuck?
Joe, we had so many wonderful layered messages in our cartoon. Do you remember the episode of Static Shock about the school shooting?
Yes.
Oh yeah, man, holy shit. I think that was airing either right before Columbine or right during Columbine.
During.
Holy shit.
That's weird.
Yeah.
All right. So, Princess Mononoke, another thing I want to bring up is early when he leaves the town, he ends up running into that monk that ends up playing a
monk.
Yeah, I know he's not really a monk. He's also a bad guy, and
I like it. So many famous Japanese stories where monks are actually the bad guys. I find that funny because there's this movie where the monk is the bad guy, and then there's shit like fucking The Dagger of Kamui, where the actual ultimate villain of the entire fucking saga of the story of that movie is this monk who's a fucking piece of shit. Jesus Christ.
Hi, who are you? I'm Jigo. I'm a monk. A person trying to find inner peace and throwing away my earthly belongings. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna get all the earthly belongings by handing this god's head to the emperor.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be the ultimate shit stirrer. That's what that monk fucking is. He's a fucking shit stirrer, and it's just you just want to see someone beat the shit out of him.
I don't want earthly possessions. I just want to be filthy fucking rich and help the emperor become immortal.
And it's funny. I think it's funny how layered this movie is when it's just it's funny. This movie has so many fucking layers, and it's just for the most part, there isn't a villain, but there are villains in this movie, and there's only 2 of them. And
Okay,
yeah,
I was gonna say, who would you call the second villain of this movie?
the monk is the second villain. Lady Eboshi is the first villain.
I would agree with that.
Lady Oboshi she's an antagonistic force, but by the end of the movie, she realizes what she's doing is wrong, and they say they're gonna make a better Iron Town. Well, no, they say they're gonna make a better Iron Town. I feel like they could get the iron in a way that doesn't fuck up the forest and stuff, because
it takes her a long ass time to realize she's the fucking villain when, like, she killed the god, and it's like, oh, she learns after she kills the god. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
I wouldn't
okay,
even say
that's-
she learned.
the power of friendship saves the day whenever they cut the head off. But I don't think Lady Oboshi is like a villain either. I mean, technically, like I
I
said,
consider her a villain.
I think she didn't know better.
I think she is. But also, like, when she goes to kill the god, like, she willingly leads her town to die. Like, she says, like, oh,
Yeah.
the ladies can take care of themselves. But it's like, those ladies don't know that. They think you're coming back, you piece of shit. Like, fuck.
Yeah, no, she's not good. Like, she's definitely a villain because I mean, she also was the one that killed the boar god earlier. That led to the guy being there.
That's
But,
what I
like-
literally just said. I literally said she was going off to go kill the god, and she does.
I know. I thought about the first boar god, not the second boar god.
My big piece of evidence that we can do better with Iron Town is the fact that Ashitaka tries doing the bellows at one point. Like, he does work the foot crank by himself because he wants to understand what these girls are going through. But the fact that he's actually joining in instead of trying to shut it down proves, like, hey, I'm on the side of nature, but I do understand that we have to develop as a species. And,
But it's also
like,
like,
you can have both potentially, as long as you don't burn down the fucking forest and just look for the ore without tearing shit down. You can coexist. But they were all about burning that forest down.
Yeah, but I also like that Ashitaka isn't like a Mary Sue in this like situation where like he just knows everything. Like, he doesn't know. He's still an idiot, and that's okay. Like,
And he gives up his village.
Yeah.
Like, we never see him go back to the Amishis.
Well, he wasn't supposed to.
He makes
he's cursed.
his character. I love his character because he's essentially he's the main character, but he's also the third party, and that's how his story plays out, and that's the way it's supposed to be because he does get everyone's side of what's going on. Now, are some more wrong than others? Yes, but the one thing I will admit too is they are all just kind of at each other's throats, and we all said it before earlier. He does give him opportunity to be like, hey, y'all don't have to fucking kill each other.
Yeah.
Also, I completely forgot the spirit is they totally steal that for Avatar too, The Last Airbender. That's just the barred spirit at the end of the first season.
The monkeys, they just want to eat the human because they want to get the power. I like the monkeys.
And they're like, that's not how it works, and you know it's not how it works. Fuck that. Just give him over. We want to eat him.
Hungry.
They hungry, but they're also just like, no, we wanted to steal that raw power. Like, how come everyone else gets the raw power but us? Like,
yeah, but San knows that a god eating a human doesn't get power. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And I think that connects actually back to there is a line that feels like such a throwaway line, even though it's absolutely not. Lady Eboshi says something along the lines of, by killing the gods, we're turning them back into normal animals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or something along that line. Like, as long as the boar deities, like the Okoto, whatever his name is, if you kill him, the boars will just be normal-sized, normal-ass, non-intelligent boars. And the fact that they're already burning down the forest, which is predominantly, it seems like, Monkey Town. And then we see the ape tribe, and they're saying things that are nonsensical, like, give us the human, we will eat him and gain his power, which we never see any other god do. And San's pointing out that that's not how it works, and you know that. Do they? Or was the ape god already killed off screen, and they are devolving in front of us?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I didn't think about that, but that could be it.
Yeah.
I had a lot more to say about this movie than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have a lot to say, which is good.
Fuck.
I like that.
This was what I was talking about earlier in like the chat and everything. Like, this movie is very fucking
Yeah, there's
nuanced and
another thing I do want to bring up is like I like how the town accepts him pretty quick when he gets there. I mean, he did save 2 people's lives, so it makes sense that they accept him. But I do think
John
it was
DiMaggio's character.
Yeah, that was fucking John DiMaggio.
Oh,
We're talking about the English dub. It's like I didn't.
oh, sorry, yeah, English dub.
I
Because
was just gonna say, how did everybody watch this? Like for this? Like
I watched this in English and knowing because I never paid attention as a kid watching stuff and trying to remember actors. I didn't recognize voices and stuff, but watching it this time, I'm like, wait, is Jago fucking Billy Bob Thornton? Oh my god, that is Billy Bob Thornton. Is Mora Gillian Anderson?
A lot of
Oh my
voice
god,
roles,
that
I
is
swear.
Billy.
Yeah, Gillian Anderson. This is a Disney dub, and Disney for a lot of the Ghibli dubs did get like big time actors for the roles, and I feel like that's really stunt casty. And then there's like other times where like the casting actually works for the characters. And this dub, I'm not gonna say it's one of Disney's best, but like it's getting there. Like where this stands as an English dub, it's like getting better. Like it's getting better. Like it's not like all the way a great dub, but there are some good performances in here, and there is some like really nice casting. I was a little disappointed by some of the performances, but like stuff where it's like, oh yeah, Gillian Anderson as Moro is like actually fucking awesome. Like hell yeah. Like Gillian Anderson as Moro, that's so fucking good. I love that.
Does anybody know when the dub was recorded? Because I can't find any information on that.
1998.
Okay. Because I'm listening to I'm listening to Toki berate her husband in one of the best performances of this goddamn movie and going, wait, that's Jada Pinkett.
Yep, it is.
Like that's her that's her
Jada
before Niobe in The Matrix. That's her before fucking Demon Knight. That's incredible.
No, no. That would be after, because Demon Knight was like 96. This is 98. Yeah, Demon Knight was 96. That Jada Pinkett and Demon Knight was Jada Pinkett, not Jada Pinkett Smith. So like that's even
Demon Knight's 95.
Yeah, never mind. I'm sorry. It was 95, not 96. But yeah, that's an early role for Jada Pinkett. Like her, like that, and then like 2 years later for Scream 2. Like yeah, those are like early
Is she in
roles
Scream?
for her. She's in Scream 2.
I need to watch the second movie someday.
Scream, holy shit! Oh, Phoebe!
I know. I'm missing a lot of movies. Zach and I had this exact same conversation.
You need to watch the Scream movies. They're so good. But yeah, I think there are some performances in this dub that I think are really underwhelming, and I think it's kind of a bummer because it's like this needs a good performance and it just kind of falters. But like, no, there's some there are some really fucking good performances. And like I said, Gillian Anderson as Moro, like I really like that. I prefer the Japanese version still. Like I think the actor who voices Moro, like they are amazing, and they're also extremely queer. The voice actor for Moro in the Japanese version, they are extremely queer, and they have a long history of cool queer shit in Japan. I
was about to say, are you saying Gillian Anderson isn't queer?
Oh no, Gillian Anderson is queer, but I'm not talking about it right now. I'm talking about someone else. I'm talking about the Japanese voice actor for Moro. The Japanese voice actor for Moro has like a ton of cool queer shit in Japan and like history. Look them up. Please look them up after this episode.
Okay, Moro is Akahiro Miwa.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, and of course Gillian fucking Anderson has cool.
Holy shit, he's pretty.
Yeah. Of course Gillian Anderson has like a bunch of cool queer shit under her belt. She's
Akahiro was a Japanese singer, actor, director, composer, author, and drag queen.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, they have just recently passed on, which is a shame, but they have a long, fruitful history of just incredible shit under their belt.
He was the Witch of the Wasted House moving castle.
Yep.
Of course he was.
I need to watch Japanese dub.
Yeah, he's done a lot of stuff for Ghibli, because I remember apparently when they were recording the audio for the Japanese side of Princess Mononoke, and like Hayao Miyazaki was like blown away by his performance, and it was just like, oh my god, this is amazing, and it's just like, yeah, but oh man, but yeah, like but especially like there are some I find some of the performances in the dub but disappointing. Like for example, like I think Claire Danes as San sounds like it could be a slam dunk, but like, man, I just feel like there are times where it's like, okay, you really need to emote in this, and it's just like, come on, Claire Danes, like you're better than this. I know you're a capable actress, but you just kind of I don't know, like she falls short, and it's such a shame. Billy Crudup as Ashitaka is okay. He's suitable for the role, but I don't know. There's a couple of spots in the Japanese audio where I'm like, nah, the Japanese voice actor is doing a better job. I'm sorry. Like, Billy Crudup is a solid actor, but I don't know, he falls short a couple of times. And I do like Billy Bob Thornton as the monk. I think he does a pretty good job with the character of Jigo, because it's just like,
So good.
yeah, okay, like
Did not know that was him.
Billy Bob Thornton knows what this character is. Like, he knows he's a fucking shit stirrer. Like, he knows what this person is. And it's like, okay, cool. I like that. That's good.
And that's right around the time of Sling Blade, too.
Yeah, this is a couple years after Sling Blade, because Sling Blade was also like 95. This is Billy Bob Thornton kind of exploding. Like, this is his appearances on stuff like after Sling Blade, like when he was on the coming out episode of Ellen DeGeneres' sitcom from the 90s, and like a couple other things. Like, this is Billy Bob Thornton, like, kind of exploding in popularity. Dub for this is like, it's getting there. Like, it's not all the way great, but it's getting to great.
How can we talk about voice acting in this movie without talking about the GOAT? By which I mean the other living boar god, Okoto. One fucking Keith David.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, I did thought that name. I thought he sounded familiar. I was like, that sounds familiar.
I kept hearing him and I just wanted to go, say Malboja. Say Malboja.
I think he might be my favorite performance out of this entire English dub. Like, Keith David is just so fucking good. Like, and this is like, Keith David at this time of his career, this is like him, like, being in the Spawn cartoon and, like, a bunch of other really cool shit. Like, I think Spawn is edgelord tryhard garbage, but, like,
I will fight you.
Hold on, let me finish. But, like, that HBO Spawn cartoon, really fucking good. Like,
okay, we're good again.
It's weird, because, like, yeah, I think the original comic is this kind of like, yeah, this is edgelordy crap, but, like, that HBO cartoon, the HBO cartoon is just anime, because fucking, like, Studio Madhouse did so much of the animation for that cartoon, and it's just like, yeah, this is just anime. What the hell?
The complete series is sitting behind me in one of the DVD towers.
And the nice thing about that series, too, it's a short watch. Like, that show's only, three seasons long. Like,
seasons of 6 episodes each.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not much at all, man.
Not much at all.
And it's HBO, and HBO doesn't usually do, like, long stuff. If they do, it's, like, kind of a rare occasion. Like, I think
True Blood.
Yeah, probably True Blood, or probably, like, Game of Thrones. Like, those are I think those are, like, the only long-running, like, shows that I can think of.
I do want to talk about that their crazy idea to kill the god and the way they do it. Like, I mean, they had to, it's going to have repercussions.
Yeah.
They're not going to be good.
It had instantaneous repercussions.
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yeah.
did Nier reference that?
Like the
Yeah,
first
of course.
Nier?
The boar thing. Isn't that from the first Nier? Isn't that a bunch of boars or something that they trick?
I definitely need to play Nier.
Nier.
I need to put it on the show one of these
I
days.
played a little bit of Automata, but I never actually played the original Nier. I don't know if there's...
I've also not played the original Nier. I played a little bit of Automata, but I couldn't really get into it. Like, I think it's really interesting, but it's just like, this gameplay, it's just...
Like, if Mike wants to put them on the show, I'm willing to be on those episodes, but I would want to also do Drakengard, and they're never remaking Drakengard.
We did Drakengard 1 on the show.
I know, and Nier is a sequel to Drakengard.
I know. But you can emulate PS2, can't you?
Yeah, PS2
I still have to set up a PS2 emulator on this computer, but I should.
Can emulate PS3.
Yeah.
PS3 is a little harder, but...
PS3 is getting there.
Yeah, my computer can't.
PS5 emulation's also getting there.
Yeah, it is. Phoebe, if you need any help setting up with that stuff, let me know and I'll help you.
What she needs is her job not to make her work 6 days a week, and
Okay,
that's
good point.
That's also true.
Good point.
And that's
good
not
point.
going to happen.
So I do think it is also funny that they also kill the boar god with just a straight up shot to the face.
Yeah.
So there's gods, which are the oversized animals. And then there's the forest god.
Yeah.
I feel like we're talking about demigods and gods.
Yeah, that's probably accurate way to put it.
Yeah.
It's like a lot like Greek mythology. You have gods and you have titans. The forest god is a titan. That thing is the planet. And I love that dual identity of it. When it is daytime, it is the god of life. It is the forest god. And when nighttime happens, it becomes the god of death, the night walker.
Well, it makes sense that the idea that this god is both, life and death, because it's what nature is.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a very fair way to put it too.
Mhm.
I don't know. I like what they do with the god a lot.
Yeah, I do too. Lots of just really interesting stuff. I think, like I said earlier, I think this movie is so fucking nuanced for what it's talking about with the environment and just environmentalism as a whole. And I think just as Miyazaki is who he is as an environmentalist, I think a lot of the conversation that this movie is having is so fucking nuanced. It's so much more than like any crappy American movies ever tried to do or tried to talk about.
Yeah, it does a very good way of touching on what we could do better when it comes to how we handle our environment. And I mean, they put the head in the jar near the end, and they see all this death happening. Like, nope, I gotta get the head back. Like, you really think there's any this is gonna just stop?
Yeah.
Okay, to be fair, we're talking about Japan. Like, that's the thing. Finding out that the Amishi is a real group that existed in history means that this isn't a fantasy world. This is 100% Japan at some era. It's yeah.
Fantasy. Like, it is fantasy, but at the same time, like, no, there is a lot of real shit based off of this. Like,
And so, yeah, the Japanese idea of our emperor is our god. Oh, we have a way to make him immortal.
You're right. I should know that.
Like, they probably see the forest god as a fake deity, and how dare this fake deity try to usurp his will over our Lord and Savior, the emperor.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I should know that. I forget how much they worship him. So, yeah, fair enough.
I mean, we saw that with Grave of the Fireflies. That was
Yes.
100% accurate, and they're just standing in the middle of a fire going, our Lord will save us. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, that's a good way to put it.
And they're surprised when we lose. Well, when they lose. Well, no, it's pretty fucked up. It's just messed up because they're like, how could we lose? Our emperor is a god. It's like, that's not actually true, bud. He's just a guy like you and me.
Yeah, and that's like, there's a movie behind me that I have not watched, but I know it's a plot point in it. They were such an honorable group around this time, up to and including World War II, that if you survived the kamikaze plane stuff, like if you actually just turned around with the rest of your fuel, you were deemed like dishonorable on traitor and a lot of other stuff.
There's a fun fact with that.
Godzilla -1.
You couldn't turn around because you only had enough fuel for a one-way trip.
I don't know. The main character of Godzilla -1 survived somehow.
Yes, but in real life, you did not. They only gave you enough fuel as a one-way trip.
I mean, as long as you don't turn around at an earlier point.
Yeah, but you didn't have much. I mean, you were like, you couldn't go back to your ship. They would just shot you down. So where are you going? Yeah, they didn't give them fuel so that they could make it.
All for the glory of our god, the Emperor.
Pretty much.
Well, we can make him a true immortal. Just cut off this deer's head. Fine. Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I find that all really interesting. Those are some very good plot points in this movie. Now, finding out there being the two villains. I mean, one thing that's also, I think, a very good part that I want to bring up is how the women are all. She got them from brothels. She's like, hey, she paid off their contract and then got them free. So that's, I mean, she went after people that were disenfranchised and could really use her help, like the lepers, for example.
Well, sometimes you gotta help the people who are down stuck because they deserve help too. That's also how I saw that as well. Like at the end of the day, like I said, it mirrors both ways too as well. Because
there's another way I can see that too, is that you help the people that, have nobody because then you can manipulate them better.
I mean, that is what she kind of does too. As Kyle said earlier, she kind of fucks off when they're in trouble.
Yep.
Yeah. I was also thinking of some other piece of shit that did the same thing. So, but
crazy.
Like many of the greatest pieces of story with different parts of fantasy and elemental fantasy and gods and goddesses and everything else, the real monsters of the story are the humans.
Oh God, yes.
Look at your George Romero zombie movies. Look at your war movies. Look at your everything else. The humans are the actual pieces of shit.
No, 100% agree. I need to watch. I need to cover Romero's movies some days.
Yeah.
I will be there when you do. I want to be on those fucking episodes.
Never happened yet, but I've thought about it a few times.
Hell yeah!
They go places you're not expecting.
I've seen a bunch of them.
Oh, good. Excellent.
I like his work. I just haven't gotten around to it. That's all.
They're going to be great ass
But
fucking
you know how I am.
episodes. No, of course.
Too busy and too many plans.
You can
On
save
my
them
to-do
for
list.
like a Halloween sometime, some years.
Oh, I already
next
got
year.
a bunch of stuff written down for this Spooktober. So
I know, I'm
can't
just
wait
saying
to
for like
find
the
out.
future, like next year or the year.
I mean, it'll happen at some point. I mean, they're always on the back of the list. But,
Oh yeah.
so we'll see. There's just so many movies. But I mean, I think this movie does a really good job telling the story, which we have said more than once now. The animation we have talked about is really good. I think the sound effects and the music is also good in this too.
Oh yeah. Music in this movie is fucking gorgeous, man. Just Joe Hisashi, such a fucking incredible musician and just composer. Just holy shit.
I enjoyed that a lot. No, I mean, it was good to rewatch this. I hadn't seen this since I saw it in theaters in Japanese, and I don't even remember if I stayed awake for that or not. I barely remember. I just know Tiff was upset because she didn't realize it was the sub. It was the sub and not the dub.
Yeah, you
Ever
gotta be
since then,
careful
I've
with
been
that
more careful.
nowadays. Yeah.
I learned my lesson. I was like, I always check now when I buy her tickets for these type of movies because she just doesn't like. She'd rather cause can't see as well either. So she'd rather watch a movie where she can hear what they're saying.
You can still hear what they're saying if it's in Japanese. It's just
You don't understand.
yeah.
But you are correct. Yes. I do like how eventually he's able to get Princess Mononoke to, be on his side, essentially because he saves her life. And it still takes a while. She's like, I should just kill you. But and eventually she, finally warms up to him.
Also, openly admit the wolf girl is hot. Pretty bold move. Pretty bold move.
Well, also a lot of it is because since the nature god didn't kill him and went, she saw, okay, you're actually worthy. Like that was a big, turn on for her. So, which makes sense. I do like the wolves a lot. I think all three of them are good. And I do think having the mother die in this movie is good for narrative. It just is. I think it made sense to have her die.
The wolves are incredible and they're very beautiful, and I love wolves. They're so cute.
Same.
Even though I know that they're big, ferocious creatures and they would easily murder me, but they're so cute. God damn it!
As long as you don't try to pet them, you're fine.
Yeah. I've seen people pet wolves at wolf sanctuaries, and it's I've heard that when you actually get to have an experience with them and pet them, they're really sweet. But it's just man, I want to do that, but holy crap!
I've never pet a wolf, unfortunately.
I want to.
You too. I also want to pet deer again, but I can do that here. There's a deer sanctuary not far from, an hour and a half from where I live.
No, of course, yeah, that's also awesome. Getting to pet deer and stuff like that. That's incredible.
I need to go there again this year, but I don't have air conditioning in my car until I get that fixed. Tiff ain't going any long distance with me.
Well, wait until September or October, then go.
Oh, I'm getting my air conditioning already fixed. I have an appointment. Hopefully next week once they call.
I didn't know if it was there was an extra reason of why you could I didn't know if there was something you just couldn't do or whatever. But I was
Well, it was I didn't want to because it's a part in my car that doesn't need to be fixed for the car to run.
Of course, yeah, but it's
one of those situations. But
if you're going to be driving around everything, it's fucking hot as shit. So
well, it's either I fix it when I drive to go to a con here later this month, I rent a car. It's not a choice. Yeah. It's either you fix your AC or we're renting a car, and I don't want to rent a car, so we're fixing.
No, of course, AC. Yeah. No, of course, yeah. Well, that's good at least. But yeah, yeah. I
love the deer in this too. I do want it since that's why I also mentioned the deer. I love his.
Yep. Yeah.
Yakul.
Yakul is so cute. I love how he's always by Ashitaka's side. Even when Ashitaka's no, go, stay here, don't come any further, and he still wants to help her, and I'm God damn it, that's so fucking noble.
Sam being don't worry, your owner is dead. You are free now.
And then he's just no, I'm gonna help him, and it's God,
that is a cute moment where he doesn't leave him. He's just I ain't going nowhere.
I love you, dear. You're my best friend.
San goes to it. It's no. I take the collar off of you. You're free now. You can do whatever you want. And he just still goes to Ashitaka.
Where's my Yakul plush?
I want.
I'm sure there's got to be one, right?
No, I don't think so. I think all of the merchandise for this movie are the Godakas.
Yeah.
I didn't say it had to be.
Or Ghibli, or if any type of Ghibli merch, it's usually just Totoro, which I get. Totoro's adorable.
Totoro.
It's Totoro is a big giant kitty, and I love that. Totoro is adorable, but it's just I want a Yakul plush. I want to pet Yakul.
I have found Yakul plushes, and they are
I knew there'd be something like that.
I want to pet a Yakul.
I am posting 2 of them in the chat.
Yes!
The more important question is, are you ordering one?
I mean, one of them seems to be from Japan, so that shipping is going to be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, probably.
The other one is from Amazon.
Amazon is fine. But...
Amazon is $20. It is 6 inches long. It is a beanbag.
That is an adorable yet cool look. Like, that is so cute. Oh my god.
Here's the other one.
I like the first one you sent. The first one you sent is actually pretty cute.
Yeah, that is
The
adorable.
second one's also really cute.
I mean, sometimes
Yeah,
Amazon, you got to make sure you look at that because I bought stuff for Tiff and it's, tiny.
I
And
kind
I'm
of
like,
like
oh,
how the second one is like kind of lying down, like it looks like it's like in the middle of running. Where like the first cool plush is just like it's standing. Like I think that's so cute. Like just I'm sorry, like just I feel like the way I'm talking about this movie, I sound like a dumb little kid or something. Where it's like
no, you
this
just sound like you like
Sorry.
it. That's not a bad thing, and this is not a bad movie to be.
I don't
like. This is a
want to
very good
grow
movie.
up. I want my fucking bagel bites.
Toys R Us kid.
It's so much more layered than I think people might assume it is, as an animated movie and as a Ghibli movie and as like technically a family movie, even though if you're gonna show your kids Ghibli movies, you might want to wait until they're a little older to show them this.
No,
I would wait on this one. I agree with Kyle.
I don't know. I feel like there's like a huge range for PG-13 movies and what that can mean.
Yeah,
This one is pretty
Like,
violent, though.
I wouldn't show a kid I Lead a Battle Angel, but I'd be willing to show a kid Lord of the Rings. Does that make sense? They're like two opposite ends of a spectrum, but they're still both PG-13.
I don't know Alita Battle Angel, unfortunately.
Alita though is like robot stuff, so I think that's a bit more okay than say something like this, where animals and humans do get pretty fucked up in this, and I don't know if a kid would be okay with seeing an animal or a human get really kind of messed up.
Yeah.
I don't think this would be good for a 8-year-old. I think this would be fine. I think this would be fine for a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking. Somewhere in the 11 range.
I'm not wait until they're 18. I'm saying maybe wait until they're 11 or 12. I'm not. Yeah, when I say wait until they're a little older, I don't mean wait until they're 18 and they're an adult. No. Wait until they're 11 or 12 and they're a bit more. They can handle kind of more, kind of shocking things. Because it's
moderate violence.
Yeah.
Don't be like me and watch Bride of Chucky at the age of 11.
Isn't that all of us?
Terrified me as a kid.
I feel like if you should show a kid any of the Chucky movies, you should show them Seed, because it's they're gonna learn a lot about gender identity, and it's that's gonna be helpful for a kid.
Isn't that a bad movie?
That's a fucking...
What?
Isn't that a bad movie? See the Chucky?
No.
Chucky
never seen it.
fucking rules. That
Okay, I just don't like Chucky for obvious reasons, so...
No, if you want a bad Chucky movie, watch Child's Play 3.
Yeah, Child's Play 3 sucks.
Okay.
I would say that's
moments.
the only bad one. I think...
Yeah.
They're all bad. They have dolls in it.
No.
Oh,
You know,
awesome.
I hate dolls. You all know that. So.
Okay, it's a lot like Evil Dead, where the Child's Play 1 and 2 are straight up horror, and then the series gets a little bit more campy, and you start getting Army of Darkness style horror comedy.
State of Chucky, Chucky is this is Don Mancini just being hi, I'm fucking gay. I'm extremely fucking gay. And it's just that's why that movie is amazing. That movie is just Don Mancini being, hi, I'm extremely fucking gay. I grew up gay, and I had to deal with a lot of gender and sexuality shit in my life, and this is
the main character, the seed of the Chucky, is a reference to Ed Wood's Glenn or Glenda. It's perfect.
they literally named the child Glenn Glenda, because it's just and there's literally a sequence where Glenn Glenda is talking to Chucky and Tiffany and saying sometimes I feel like a boy, sometimes I feel like a girl. Can I be both? And it's just wow, that is extremely nuanced for 2003. That is amazing. Holy shit.
How did we get to Chucky?
I was wondering the exact same thing, Joe.
I'm sorry, we're on an entirely different planet. I'm sorry. Let's go back.
Because Kyle and I are degenerates.
It
came
one
from
is
the
for
whole
sure.
PG-13. What does PG-13
One is definitely for sure
mean?
degenerate.
Audience, can you figure out who the queer people are in this podcast?
I am queer. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Joe, you were already included, you dummy.
Oh,
I'm the
I was
only
gonna
one
say
that's not.
I'm more on the side of Mike of I don't like dolls. So
Yeah, but you also have a spouse that buys you dolls too, right?
Show a
Joe!
haunted
No.
doll
No.
by a
No, I have-
for Mike. Got it.
No, I have a spouse that likes dolls, and if they could, they
Oh,
would
no.
buy more dolls to
Oh,
piss me
no.
off. There's tons
Me
of
too.
And then I have a spouse who has friends who will buy him dolls, and then he will put the dolls in the room.
Buy Joe 2
Like,
haunted dolls.
Joe, if
Buy
I'm
Mike
gonna-
3 more.
Joe, if I'm gonna include queer people at this podcast, like, of course you're gonna be there. You're the person who came on camera on a podcast with a rainbow flag that had Chris Redfield on it.
I love it. Where'd you find that fucking flag anyway?
That was an anniversary gift from the husband,
God damn, your
That's
husband's
not his
great.
name. It's the Huz.
the hus. Yeah, guys,
The
that
husband's great.
Do you
that
spell
was
that? Do you spell that with an S or a Z? The Huz?
two Z's, H-U-Z-Z, the hus.
We should talk about the ending of this movie. We haven't really talked about that yet.
Of course. Do we want to talk about with the ending? Like, do we want to just like say everything, or like, I just want to make sure that if we
Say whatever.
Okay.
Come on.
we are going to talk about the ending. So, I feel like you should have known this beforehand. If you haven't seen the movie, stop listening right now. Go watch it.
Go watch 20 years.
We're listening for a 30-year-old, almost 30-year-old movie. We're
Yeah.
fucking
30 years. What am I saying? 20? Nope. No.
29-year-old. Yeah, it's almost. Yeah, it is literally almost 30. So.
Yeah, I don't feel bad at that point. I'm like, well,
No, yeah, of course. But yeah, the ending to this movie. I think we were kind of building up to it too, because we were referencing a lot of the sequences between.
we might have been before Sheeta Chucky.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's my fault. When Ashitaka went to the iron mining town, and then San becomes a lot more of a prominent character, and then Ashitaka leaves to go help San, even though San doesn't trust any humans, and and then that part of the movie starts, and then we get more and more into the film. What do we want to discuss with the ending exactly? What do we want?
Well, I just kind of want to talk about it, like how he essentially, because he returns the head, and they think they're going to die, but they don't.
Mhm.
I'm assuming the monk died, right?
No, I think. Oddly enough, that god, even though at that time it was very much a vengeful kind of giant blob of hate and mess, it was still.
Okay, it chose not to murder him.
He's the second to last scene of the film. It's just him standing on his weird stilt standals.
Yeah.
Going well, I guess you can't win them all.
It's like, oh, you little piece.
You should have been dead, you fucker.
Yeah, exactly. Even when when the god was a giant mass of fucking hatred and viruses and anger and fucking just every ounce of evil and hatred in its whole body and mass, it still managed to show mercy. That's kind of amazing. Even when this god of nature is about to fucking destroy everything and kill everything and just it can't control itself. It's just fucking it's no turning back. Even in then, that God still showed mercy. That's amazing. This God of nature still showed mercy, even at that point of its time.
Okay, so that's. But I do like how he thinks he's going to die, essentially, and then he's able to save her and him and, bring her back, kind of.
Well, of course, with the people that actually do the work, though, it's Ashitaka and San. San is still kind of out of it after being accidentally swallowed by the boar while she's trying to help the boar, and the boar is being taken over by the thing.
That is such a good scene, too.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't talked about that. I love how it shows her, she just is part of, his infectedness, it's so done.
She just
so
gets
well done.
submerged in it. Holy shit, that just looks incredible. Trying to animate all of those weird little, worm things, those tentacle, what the fuck those things are, that's amazing. Oh my god, this movie is so gorgeous.
It really is. It's a very pretty movie.
Yep.
They did a great job with animation.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else in the ending? I don't really remember because I watched this a couple days ago.
And everything ends up being okay for the most part. That's the only thing I think about the
I guess he's never able to return to his town, though, right?
Wolfhead can still bite.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a great part, though. I love that, even when it's detached, it's not nice.
Well,
wow.
she
deserved it.
I like that it doesn't just end on a happily ever after. San and Ashitaka still live in their two separate worlds. They are in love. They will see each other as often as they possibly can, but San is still a creature of the forest and nature.
Of course. Mhm.
And Ashitaka is going to help Irontown become better. Like, hey, we'll still make iron and stuff, but we're not going to fuck this up like last time. Are we, Lady Eboshi? I'm going to stay here and regulate you.
Boshi, like, could easily, I feel like with some people, how they observe the characters, like, Lady Boshi may seem like a girl boss, but it's like, no, like, a woman can be just as fucking evil and horrid as a man can be. Like, that is
Very true.
that is very nuanced gender politics. Like, no, like, a girl boss can be just as fucking horrid and evil as a man, and that's true gender equality. I mean, it's not. It's not. I'm sorry. I'm not like it isn't, but it's like no, like that actually is really interesting gender commentary right there.
No. As Batman says, the hammers of justice are gender neutral.
Yep.
You're completely correct.
Like, there's a nice piece of dialogue that I think Ashitaka and San have right at the very end of it all, like after everything, and then they do go back to their own separate like parts of the world, but they just know like. We'll live life. That's what we'll do. You'll live your life, I'll live my life, and we can still visit each other's lives. And it's just like, that's kind of a beautifully simple message right there. I love that.
It's a good way to go instead of having her change her entire life so she can be with a man, which American movie might have done.
Like, and I love that, like, the movie isn't saying, like, well, San is actually human, so she must be with the humans. Like, no, like, those wolves were her family. That's her family. Like, that is who she considered her. Not only did she consider those beings her family, but like they raised her as her family, as their kin. Like they loved her, even if it may not seem like the love that a human may seem, and in other types of humans. Like it's still love. Like love is so many different things. That's such an interesting and nuanced piece of commentary.
Well, I also see it as kind of a point too, where I think Ghibli kind of has those things where it's like, yeah, a lot of his movies do end fairly reasonable. I say because Mike's watched a couple of them in the past, so I can compare them real quick. Like, I mean, technically, like this one, yeah, they're kind of together, but she still does go off to live in the forest. Yeah. Spirited Away ends with, she might not see Dragon Boy ever again, but you know what? She at least saved her. Yeah, she at least saved her parents. What is it? Howl's Moving Castle. I can't remember her name either. She's still technically permanently cursed in that movie. She still has gray hair. So I mean, sometimes sometimes things are just the way they are, and you have to go with it.
It's either she's no longer cursed, but the trauma has permanently silvered her hair, or she has found a balance in her life. Because, like we talked about in that episode, it was a lot of self-love and self-acceptance also affected the curse. And now that she's with Howl and everything, she has accepted who she is. And so she's not going to transform again.
It's still finding the love and beauty in your life. It's still, finding that reason. That it's still finding it in your life.
And here, industrialization's still going to happen. Let's just not overstep on nature. Let's try to find a balance.
Yeah,
how's that going out in America right now? Huh?
But it also goes into the concept of, like these actions have consequences. Is he still cursed at the end of the movie?
I don't think so. I think it was the more scarring.
I think, like it's that the curse is gone, but they're gonna have those scars. Like that's just gonna be.
Well, San isn't. She's completely fine, even though she was getting cursed.
What happened to San was a lot more abrupt and like a lot more just quick. Like what happened to Ashitaka was throughout the entire movie. So Ashitaka will have those scars with him for the rest of his life, but San was very lucky. Like
it's hate stretch marks.
Yeah. That's just like real life. Because hate does that to you too. Hate makes you.
Yeah, hate changes you.
Yeah, hate fucks you up.
Yep, it does. Hate takes a lot out of you.
I mean, you see that. You can see it in a lot of people. I mean, you can see it in stupidity too. Go ahead.
Yep.
But it really does fuck with you. People will age from hate.
Yep. Like
Ashitaka for keeping his composure the entire movie. Like, there's no transformation of him halfway turning into a demon or something.
Almost happened
to chill the entire time.
I mean, I mean, it almost happens quite a few times, but it never, overtakes. That's kind of amazing. Like, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, because he's Link.
Yeah.
I'll take
Fuck off.
He's Link, but he can actually talk.
Oh, don't worry. Link will talk in the upcoming movie.
Wondering how they're going to do that.
It's fine.
No,
They did it for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom
For
with the
like
other characters.
a really weird callback, they should, and I know this makes no sense because like he's a lot older now of an actor, but like they should have got Billy Crudup to play, like, because it's like it's just like Princess Mononoke because he was in the English dub for that.
Excuse
Me, princess. Goddamn. Just the first line of the damn Zelda movie, just like opening credits, The Legend of Zelda, the title card, and then excuse me, princess.
I make that joke all the time to Tiff because I've showed her the GIF before, so every so often I'll be like, "Excuse me, princess," in that voice too.
This isn't Princess Mononoke talk, but fucking, there better be a scene in that movie where they have to rest in the middle of a field, and it's like,
Yes.
Oh, Link, what are you cooking? I'm cooking the dongo. I'm so hungry, I could eat a whole one.
God, we are such fucking nerds. Oh my god, I love you guys.
All right, anything else to say about this movie?
No, of course.
No.
This talk has definitely changed my rating.
Good. I'm glad. It hasn't changed mine too, for the record. So, hi, and who's joining me after running away from the boars?
Hey everyone, it's Joe Larrey. Sorry I was late. I had to transport ahead to the Emperor.
Are you sure you just weren't having to fight all those wild boars? You had AR-33s all over the place or something? We didn't make that joke during the main episode, even though we were supposed to.
Yeah, you got it in.
Yeah, we were going to that and didn't. I was like, I didn't forget. And what is your history with Princess Mononoke?
Yeah, so my first exposure to this movie was at a local convention in my town back in, I want to say, 98. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, and back in those days, and some young people will be confused by this, we had these things called VHSs. They were movies on tapes. And they would always, at the convention, sell bootleg VHSs. And the hot movie of that convention was Princess Mononoke. And I remember distinctly because they would show the opening with the boar rampage. It was what they would show to, get you in. And I was like, this is awesome. And I had, at this time, my exposure to anime was Pokemon and Digimon, and then some stuff that I probably shouldn't have watched that my dad would have on in the background. But
I know what you're talking about. I want some of that stuff too.
but like I didn't know what Studio Ghibli was. I didn't know really what anime was at the time, and this really hooked me with the animation style. Also, the fact they were speaking a completely different language at the time. Me being young and stupid, thought it was a made-up language, not realizing, it was Japanese at the time.
Well, I mean, if you're a kid, that's not stupid. That's just, you just didn't know.
Yeah, especially since it's also set, like, in a semi-fantasy world. It was also like, oh, they're just doing their own thing.
That's fair, too. I didn't even think about that, but that is a very fair statement because, it's not Japan. I mean, it is Japan, but it's not Japan.
Yeah, it's like, I view it like an alternate form of Japan, yeah. But like I said, the animation, the storytelling, everything really, struck me and then made me start, once again, researching stuff into this. And this was really kind of my exposure to Japan and understanding the culture, because this movie is really, really rooted in Japanese folklore. And there's a lot of stuff in this that I feel like most American audiences would probably miss, which is fine. You can enjoy the movie completely without understanding that. But when you start really looking into this movie, it's a lot deeper than it is on the surface level. And this was the movie that made me want to go like, I want to go to Japan. And then my dad told me we were moving to Japan later that year. So yay, dreams come true.
That is really cool. I didn't realize that this and that were that close together.
Yeah, because I moved to Japan in 1990. I moved in August 98. This movie came out in 97 in Japan. So by the time the bootleg version got out, it was like winter, like January, February around in 98. So yeah.
Okay, that's very cool.
Yeah,
I knew you were in Japan. I just didn't realize it was that close to this movie.
Yeah, just a little happy coincidence.
I mean, this this is a good movie. I hadn't remembered it at all. It's been so long.
It is one of those that I kind of feel like it's, I don't want to say a forgotten Ghibli film, but I don't think it gets the recognition like Totoro or Howl's Moving Castle. And also, it doesn't help that the movie that came after this was Spirited Away, and that's just kind of considered Ghibli's, perfect movie. So I kind of feel like this one gets forgotten because of that.
That's one of the best ones, in my opinion.
Yeah. Now, then this is the one that preceded it, so a lot of people tend to forget it. And it is
realize that, but that
and also thinking
sense.
it and thinking otherwise. Not to say Spirited Away doesn't have dark moments, but this movie, I don't know if I'd gear this towards kids.
No, this is pretty dark.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't understand some of the darkness that's happening because it's the way that you just wouldn't recognize the words. Like, oh, I got all these women from the brothels. What's a brothel, Dad? Don't worry about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry. So you might not. What's a leopard? Just somebody doesn't feel good. Yeah.
But
so some of that stuff would fly under the radar. What's actually like where these people came from, but no, there's still this dark aspect of how violent this movie is. So
yeah, I did forget about that as we rewatch this when he with his demon arm and bow and arrow, where he's just taking people's limbs and their heads off.
I love it.
Oh, I loved it too, but it was just like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Me too. When they first did it, I was like, yeah, that's a thing here.
Yeah.
We fuck people up. That's what we do in this movie. And we fuck them up bad.
Oh, and nature messes up people real bad too. They are not happy.
No, they have a reason to be.
Oh no. And like a lot of Miyazaki's movies, obviously the concept of, how stupid and pointless war is definitely a running theme through this, but also another one of his personal themes he loves to run through is the balance with nature, which is another really big theme you'll see throughout his movies, especially when we get to Valley of the Wind and even Totoro. Those are big themes in those.
Okay, we have done Totoro on the show, but never done Valley of the Wind yet.
Okay, yeah, Valley of the Wind's going to be... Valley of the Wind, in some ways, is sort of like a spiritual prequel to this movie, because very similar themes and even some designs carry over between the two movies.
That's Nausicaa, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I have seen it, but so long ago.
Oh, yeah. Do not watch the American version of that movie. That's all I'll say.
They mean an American version, or you mean the English translation?
Oh, no. The original English version from the 1980s. There's a whole story about that, but I'll get to that when we get to that movie. But
okay, I won't be watching that version. I'll watch, because I own all these Studio movies on a pirated DVD that I didn't realize was pirated when I bought it. So that's all I will be watching them, maybe. Unless they're on HBO Max. So, and then I'm pretty sure those are not the bad versions on Max.
No.
If they're even still there by the time that...
They'll be there. I don't think they're getting rid of those. And besides, even if they did, someone would pick up Studio Ghibli stuff in a second.
Yeah, Max is just so weird.
Yeah.
I bitch about it a lot in this podcast. But that's
real quick though, like I mentioned, talking about English dubbing. I don't know if this was brought up in the main episode, but Neil Gaiman did the English adaptation of this.
It was.
Yeah. Did you guys go into the history of Ghibli and Disney and how they absolutely hated each other?
I don't think we did that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to say Neil Gaiman is kind of part of the reason for that. Well, not indirectly. So, quick history lesson on Ghibli real quick. Like I mentioned just previously, Valley of the Wind had a English version. They ended up cutting 30 minutes of the movie, changed the entire plot, changed all the character names. Miyazaki was so pissed off, he swore no American company will ever adapt or use one of his properties ever again. So this was in the 80s.
They did shit like that in the 80s.
Yeah.
And later on, but yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
80s.
Fast forward to the 90s here, and basically you had Disney wanting to get a foothold in Japan, and you wanted Ghibli to get more of a foothold in America. I mean, they had some of the cult movies of like Totoro and Kiki's Delivery Service, but they never really had a breakout hit. So they made a deal where Disney would distribute the movies. Disney, when they got this, and Princess Mononoke was the first movie in that deal, Disney wanted to chop this thing to pieces, redo the entire plot, and basically them and Disney and Studio Ghibli were at a standstill for months on just getting a script going.
To do that.
Yeah, and basically, and apparently Miyazaki hated Neil Gaiman's version because he just changed everything. And if you do watch the English language version, I did watch both of them, there are some pretty big story differences between them that change some meaning within the story here.
It just doesn't make sense to me why you would, like, if you're trying to take a property, like, just release it as it is. Why would you want to adjust it that much?
Because, Disney, they wanted to Americanize it or Disneynize it or however you want to
sell it.
say. Yeah. And then it's funny enough, the one time that they didn't do that with Spirited Away, it won an Oscar and won critical acclaim and is considered to be one of the greatest animated movies of all time. So, hey, maybe don't fuck with the property. I don't know.
Yeah, Disney's not. I mean, that's how they made all their money all those years, is take, a story and then make it your own.
Yeah. So,
no, we just mentioned that Neil Gaiman was involved in the movie.
Yeah. So, yeah, but no. Oh, yeah. No, seriously, people, if anyone's interested, please, there's tons of articles about the history of Disney and Ghibli and just like how they just absolutely hated each other. And like the second that contract was over, Ghibli was like, fuck you, we're out.
Okay. Did not know that, so thank you. I learned something new. I feel like a lot of people probably didn't know that. Studio Ghibli's early anime is what really got me into anime.
Oh yeah, I think it's what got a lot of people into anime because it seems to always either be Spirited Away or Totoro, and Kiki is the other one. Those are the three movies that everyone's like, that was my first exposure. I'm just like, okay.
Totoro was mine before I even knew. I had no idea it was an anime. It was just a cartoon that my mother bought me on VHS that I really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Then years later, I'm like, oh, now I understand.
Yeah, it was all one dude making that.
I still love that movie to this day.
He hates that character.
Oh, Totoro?
Well, the reason why he hates that character is because, like, I literally made, like, an Oscar-winning movie, and all anyone asks me about is that damn cat.
Oh, Cat Bus?
Well, not the cat. Well, the Cat Bus, but then Totoro's also a cat, so they ask him about that as well.
Like, okay, I get that.
Yeah, but he also realizes like Totoro's like now the mascot for Ghibli. Like he realizes it's an important thing, but he's just like, that's all I'm known for is the Totoro guy, and I hate that.
Okay, I can understand that. Like you made so many things, and you're like, oh, hey, remember that time that you made a movie with a giant thing?
Yeah,
and little girls was great.
Although
one of your first movies.
I think it's fun because there's something in this movie that I am pretty sure is almost a direct response to Totoro.
What is that?
So in Totoro, do you know the theory that the girls are dead and Totoro is the god of death?
I think I've heard it.
Yeah, that's a popular fan theory going around. And I think it's funny in this movie, he literally put a god of death in it.
Oh, the Night Walker thingy?
Yes, the Night Walker, yeah.
Okay.
Because I know that's another thing. He always hated having to comment on that rumor.
Okay, I can see that. Because, I don't think they're dead in that movie.
No, I don't think they're dead either. But, people got to put theories on everything. And
I mean, you can, but don't ask the creator. Just ask the internet.
He's not a nice guy. I shouldn't say that. He's old. He's old school Japanese. Yeah, that's probably a better way to say it.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. But yeah, so Princess Mononoke, yeah. So like I said, I'm sorry we got off track there. That happens on the show.
I'm done.
Yeah.
So
talking about the environmental stuff, but even the name Mononoke, I like that name because it has a couple different translations, but the main one is usually monster. So calling San Princess of the Monsters.
Oh. Okay, that's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, and I like how they kind of use it like a derogatory term to a certain extent as well. At least the humans do from that perspective, kind of like an insult to her. And
yeah, humans do 100%. They do not like monsters.
No, and then even watching this movie, something now I'm older picking up on it is the fact that like another aspect of Japanese culture is like people of mixed race are kind of outcast because they don't fit into one category in Japan. Japan's still very much like, you're either Japanese or you're not. And I like they kind of do that with San in this, where she's technically a human, but she doesn't belong in the world of humans. But even though she hangs out with all the different forest spirits, she's not really part of the forest either. So she's kind of in this weird in-between world where she doesn't really have a place. And it's her trying
I caught that, but I didn't catch that it was a reference to like the way Japan is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, which is an interesting aspect. And that's what I mean. There's a lot of layers to this movie. Like even the mask that she wears, there's a indigenous group of Japanese called the Innu people. And they're basically like Japan's versions of Native Americans that, the Japanese, kind of wiped out like we wiped out our Native Americans. And still like there's aspects of that. And they were very much like one with nature.
Oh, that's a cool touch though, that they had that in there.
Yeah, and like the little spirit guys that live in the trees, the Kodamas with the shaking heads.
Yes.
Yes,
like
those
those
are
things.
those are like associated with like the Anu people.
Oh, cool. Okay. Did not know that either, so that is very
If
interesting.
anyone's ever read or watched Shaman King, you'll know exactly what I'm referring to, because there is a character who is of the Anu people in that series.
Never even heard of that series.
I'm sure Joe and maybe Phoebe probably have heard of that. Our anime people will.
Yes, I'm gonna assume that if Joe was here, he would know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That man is very well educated about anime. The only anime I've been watching is Delicious in Dungeon lately. So
I've heard about that one.
damn good. I'm rewatching it for the third time. So hey, that's how much I enjoy it. That's not me.
I know it's not you. Another aspect of this movie that I want to touch on here is the fact that like there really is no inherently good or inherently evil side in this. Everybody's kind of this shade of gray to a certain extent. Like if you look at Lady Boshi, who's basically wiping out the forest, but then you also see like when you go back to Steelworks, you see like you mentioned before, like a lot of these women were in brothels or were like in domestic violent relationships.
She rescued them, pretty much.
Rescued them, gave them like a purpose, gave them a job, and not even that. We also mentioned the people of leprosy, which, funny enough, the leprosy is never mentioned in the Japanese cut. That was an American add-on.
Oh, okay. But I'm assuming the people were like that in the Japanese, like they were all wrapped in bandages.
Yes. Miyazaki was wanted to just keep it more open into interpretation what they have with it, but so absolutely, people have leprosy like that as well, and they would have been viewed as outcast as well, and I guess even to a certain extent, the women back then. I mean, we mentioned this is fantasy Japan, but this is still supposed to be set in like early days Japan, so women would not really have any rights at all at this time period. So giving them like their own village, training them with weapons, all that would be completely against culture norms at the time.
Okay, so kind of like what we're trying to do in America right now.
Okay. Yeah.
What Trump would like to do, yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes. And then so I always thought that was very interesting. And even like Sand and even the wolves, I don't necessarily know they're good either. Like, I get they're trying to protect the forest, but like, you can also make the case their methods are pretty extreme as well.
What do you mean? Murdering everybody's extreme?
Yes, or like getting your head chopped off and still living.
Oh, that is such a cool fucking moment, though.
I love that scene, yeah, especially since the Nightwalkers, like melting and all this stuff is falling.
Oh, that stuff is... the animation, because you're more of an animation guy than I am. I mean, the animation in this movie is fucking incredible.
Oh, yeah. No, and this was the first Miyazaki movie, first Ghibli movie to use 3D rendering and like digital mixed in. So like the stuff with his arm when it starts freaking out, that is all CG.
Oh, did not know that.
Yes.
Did not pick up on that.
Yeah, this was a full time. So I believe 10 minutes of this movie are digital, which is, I mean, nowadays is not a lot, but Miyazaki is known for hating any sort of digital work. So
it was his idea to do that in this movie, correct? Or was it somebody else that forced him?
They had to convince him, but it mostly came out of time restraints. They were running out of time and they had to get stuff done. So he said if they cannot make if it doesn't look like shit, I'll allow it.
It looks great.
Oh,
I thought the animation was amazing in this movie.
Oh, it's phenomenal. No, you're right about the animation. It definitely shows, and I believe this was the most expensive animated movie at the time. It was. Yes, this was.
I did not know that either.
At the time, this was the most expensive animated movie for 2.35 billion yen, which I don't know what that would be into America, but I would imagine that's probably a couple thousand.
Or million. That'd be a few million, I'm assuming, but I'm not good with my conversion.
Yeah, I'm not sure at the moment here. And it is, and at the time upon its release, it was the #1 box office in Japan, and it's still ranked number 7, even all these years later, as the most successful movie in Japan box office history.
That's pretty good. This movie deserves it. This is a wonderful movie, so.
Oh, absolutely. Like you mentioned, the wolf scene, that's great. I love the scenes with him and the, I guess, deer thing. I'm not exactly sure what his little
antelope.
antelope thing, which, funny enough, is from another Ghibli book, Shinu's Journey, which is also kind of a precursor to this movie, which is
that's what you were posting in the chat, weren't you?
Yes. Yeah, it just got translated like 4 years ago into English.
I assume you bought it.
Oh, God, of course. So that creature's from that and some of the concepts as well. But then, like, we talked about the boar scenes. When the boar starts, like, getting infected and starts, like, its face is sinking in and you see the blood pouring out, that freaked me out as a kid, man. That is a terrifying scene.
No, it is. That's completely fair.
Yeah, and then it's got, like, the tentacles, which always, whenever I see it, reminds me of Venom for some reason.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah, like the...
I mean, Venom does have, like, tendrils and stuff that come out of him.
Yeah, which I do.
I'm a big fan of Venom.
It's awesome. And then him just, like, absorbing sand into him.
That's a good scene.
Yeah.
That is a depressing scene, but that is a good scene.
Oh, it is a good scene. There is a lot of depressing stuff. And just even the ending, it's like, we saved the forest, kind of, because it's not the same forest anymore, because the god's dead.
But they still stopped what was happening, and they stopped the stupid monk from killing everything.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot about the monk. Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of a villain. He's not kind of. I would say he's a villain.
Yeah, he is. He's also just fallen. I would say, actually, the ultimate villain is the Emperor, who you don't ever see, because he's the one who's like, bring me the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but
back
it doesn't
then
mean you have to listen.
Well, it's either that or you...
Oh, you get beheaded, probably.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, so, they were pretty old school back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the way that I interpreted that is now that I'm trying to remember, are the wolves still there at the end? I saw this movie.
Yes, the children's wolves are still there because the other ones are dead. Or the mother is dead.
Yeah, right. The mother's dead. Yeah, Mora. Yeah, it's just I'm just trying to remember. The way I interpreted it is when the demon god, the deer god, Satan thingy, allegory thingy, died. Like all the gods sort of perished. Like all the fantasy elements of that forest just kind of disappeared. But I guess if the wolves are still there, then that would maybe not. But
the wolves are definitely still there, from what I remember.
The boar are all dead. They all got wiped out.
Yes, but they killed themselves.
Yes. Oh no! Now I'm thinking at the right at the end before the credits, they show the Kodami, the little shaking head thing. Like so.
Yeah, they're still around.
They're still in there, right? Okay, I think it's all right. Maybe it's more of the forest is being reborn and those things are coming back. Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, because I mean they did save the spirit in the end, so.
Yeah.
It wasn't destroyed. It just wasn't in good shape.
Yeah. Oh, I love that scene where they give it back its head and then it's doing the whole tendril thing and stretching out its head, connecting to it.
Same.
Yeah. And then I think it's just really quick, just checking on that deer. If anyone's played Breath of the Wild, there is an area in that game where you can go up on top of a hill and you will see a deer that looks, I'm just going to say it's identical to this deer. And I think
just enough so copyright isn't a thing.
Yeah. I think it even has a similar name to the Japanese name. I don't remember though, but I do remember when I played that, I was like, this is just Princess Mononoke.
I mean, it's not unusual for tributes, so.
No. Well, it's even especially, like we said, Ghibli is so iconic. Everyone has pretty much borrowed from them at some point. We'll say that.
No, that's fair.
But also just touching on this movie, one unfortunately side effect of this movie, like I mentioned, they had time constraints and stuff. They had to really crunch to get this movie done, and unfortunately, a lot of people from Ghibli, like a lot of their mainstay people, left Ghibli after this because this project was so taxing on them. And even Miyazaki thought about retiring after this because
I always feel bad when people have to work all that. Yeah. Hours for nothing.
Yeah, just to get this done because it was just insane. And in fact, the only reason why he came back is because the guy who was going to be his successor died.
Oh,
and they didn't have any. They had no one there to lead there. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Did not know that either. All right, and we should go to Shelf Stacker Box for you. And where would you put this movie?
Oh God, this is easy. Shelf. This is one of my favorite anime movies. This is probably my favorite Ghibli movie. I mean, I know it's easy to say because it was my first, so it's the one that had the most impact on me. But I still, even when I go back and rewatch their movies, this one really sticks with me. This is as close to a perfect animated movie as you're going to get from the storytelling and animation. perspective here. And if you're looking to really get into Japanese, culture or folklore, this is actually a really good place to start. And I also just want to say that this movie is actually going to be re-released in theaters in September. And I believe it's also going to be in IMAX too. So
also right around close to the time that this comes out, because will be released in August.
Yeah, so if you're
Unless you're a patron, you already got a chance to listen to
it. So if you're at all interested, go see it. It is definitely worth the price of admission.
I will not see it again in theaters. But yes.
I might go see it in IMAX. I have not seen it in IMAX.
IMAX hurts Tiff's eyes, I think, or her head. She does not like it. I don't know. We've never done IMAX. So I don't think she likes it, but it could be that I personally don't want to do it because it's more expensive, but I'm a cheap bastard, so...
That's why I don't do it. There's only very certain movies I will do it for, and this is one of those.
Fair. And I forget it exists.
Yeah, not like they're readily available. Remember when IMAX was going to overtake everything?
No, I don't. Well, that was the thing at one point that they thought was going to happen?
Oh, yeah, it was the future, and then they realized the budget was astronomical.
I mean, you can make it the future. They have money. So,
yeah,
you got to be willing to spend it.
I mean, hell, I believe Odyssey is the first movie ever filmed completely in IMAX, and this is 2026. So it took them about 25 years to get there, but they got there.
Yeah, I have little interest in that. I forget that's a thing. So that came up. All right. And then thank you for listening to this. And then stay tuned for the rest of our thoughts, rest of our ranking. That's what I want to say. So we'll go to Shelf Stacker Box. And Joe, since this is all your fault, why don't you go first? I mean, not a bad way. It is his fault.
No, I'll put this on the shelf. I think this is one of the higher end Ghibli movies. I do admit we do rotate like which ones are worth watching, but I think honestly at the end of the day, you should just watch all of them. Like they're all not bad and they're all worth everyone's cup of teas. And like I said before, if you're like a fan of like the medieval Japan and like fantasy, and this movie also does the other thing I like too, where it does explain some stuff, but just let yourself get lost in the moment. Enjoy the fantasy aspect of the movie and just watch it. So it's definitely going on the shelf.
All right, Phoebe.
I'm putting this in the box. No, I'm joking. I was gonna put this in the stack, but it's definitely a shelf. Is it his best film? That's up to individual people's interpretation. I still think on and off it can be overhyped if you just hear so many people talk about this one and this one alone, but it is still abso-fucking-lutely worth it and has a lot more subtlety to it than I remembered it having.
And Kyle.
My final thoughts and just kind of my overall rating. I don't have too much else to say for final thoughts. I just think this movie is fucking brilliant and so layered and beautiful and just incredible for what it is, especially as a piece of animation. And I think this movie is evidence of what animation can do. Like, what animation can do, what live action can't do. And I think that's fucking incredible for art. I think this is why things are separate from one another and why there are separate, like, categories and separate sort of things. But, yeah, this movie's amazing, and this is easily fucking going on my shelf. I was actually a little worried for doing this podcast that, like, what if I actually don't like this movie anymore? And, like, what if it's just, like, it just falls on deaf ears for me. It's like, oh, you know what? Miyazaki actually sucks. He's so overrated. But, like, no, this movie is fucking incredible. I can see why this was kind of building up to him getting getting Miyazaki his first Oscar with Spirited Away, and then, almost 20 years later again with not The Wind Rises. Shit, what's his latest movie?
Bobby Hill?
No, that's not
Boy and the Heron?
Boy and the Heron, thank you. Sorry.
Oh god,
yeah, sorry.
Good.
Poppy Hill is not Hayao. That's Goro Miyazaki. But yeah, I can see why this movie was sort of the build-up to that, because, like, this movie is a fucking juggernaut, and it honestly deserves all the praise it gets. I was, kind of nervous going into this, and, like, I wasn't sure if I'd love it, but damn, I love it. This is easily going on my shelf. This is easily going on my top Ghibli movies. Like I actually said a lot earlier in the podcast, I tend to actually be a bit more of a fan of Isao Takahata than I am Hayao Miyazaki, but I totally get why Hayao Miyazaki has the hype that he has. Like, guy's a fucking just stupendous artist and has made so many incredible films and so many just beautiful pieces of art. I think he has a beautiful soul. I love that where he stands on the environment, like what he actually does for the environment. I think that's amazing that even in his current age, he's still out there, like he'll go into the river and pick out garbage and just, Like, fuck yeah, he's the dude. He's dude just, fighting the power. Like, that's what that can take sometimes. Like, just doing the most minimum of things can sometimes change the environment, Just doing your part, just trying your best, Just doing your damnedest, Like, just, fuck yeah, I think that's so fucking beautiful. That's the human soul right there. That's beautiful. This movie's amazing. And yeah, this is fucking easily going on my shelf. I would have this on VHS, I would have the Laserdisc, I would have it on DVD, on Blu-ray, I would have all of it. Just, yeah, this movie is incredible.
All right. I'll go last. I'm going to put this in the stack. I enjoyed it, but not enough to shelve it.
Damn.
This is not my favorite of his movies. I have other ones I enjoy a lot more.
Nothing wrong with that.
So,
stand for Ghibli stuff, Mike. Like, what are your favorites? Like, I know we're like at the end of the podcast, but
that's fine.
It's like,
one of my favorites is Totoro.
Totoro's incredible.
But that's also because that's a childhood movie.
Oh, of course.
I'm also a big fan of Kiki's Delivery Service, which we have not done on this podcast yet.
Kiki's amazing. Kiki and Totoro are both fucking just...
So, I mean, if you can tell, there's a theme there of happiness.
Yeah, of course.
What is happiness?
Shut up, Phoebe.
It's the thing you'll feel when you finally cut the chains at work.
Yeah.
Totoro especially is such a...
You don't need to burn it out. You just need to quit. That's all. You just need to quit.
Totoro especially is such an incredible movie. Like, that's also like a children's movie, but it's just like, that's also nuanced. Like, that movie is so nuanced. Like, it's just, man, that's another incredible movie. Totoro is incredible.
So for me, those are some of my favorites. I mean, I also like Spirited Away a lot, which is on this podcast. That's another one I really enjoy. I don't know. I haven't watched enough of them in a long time. That's one I'm trying. Like, for a while, I didn't do a lot of animation on this show, thanks to Joe and the other Joe. I've been doing a lot more. I'm trying to.
Plus, Spirited Away is what got me. Like I said earlier, not that I know I'm being a little redundant with this episode, but this Spirited Away is what got Miyazaki his first Oscar.
Nothing wrong with it. You're allowed to have your other favorite movies. Sometimes some things work, sometimes some things don't.
Yeah, this one just feels too long for me at times, and I just get tired.
I will admit, I thought this was an hour and a half fucking movie. I completely when I like popped it open, I was like, it's 2 hours. Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
I had to pause it at one point. I thought I was only 10 minutes into the film, and I was 40 minutes in.
Yep.
This movie went by like smooth sailing.
Yeah, same.
I went to bed instead of watching this movie. I was like, I'm tired, and I went to bed.
I'm Mike Albertin. I hate watching movies without concentrating on 8 other things.
Of course, that's how you get shit done. Hey, how's
I
it
can
feel
only
editing
watch
going,
Lords
Phoebe?
of Arabia via 300 TikToks.
I once tried to watch Lord of the Rings through cuts on YouTube.
Oh my
I will
That was not a good idea. It was awful. Because I didn't want to pay for it. I was like, it's on YouTube, technically, and I tried. I'll never do that again. It was awful.
I'm going to strap you to a chair, Clockwork Orange style, and make you watch like a 4-hour long movie. Or I'll make you watch something really short.
You would have to come to Minnesota, Phoebe, so I'm safe.
Fucking Cabinet of Dr.
I'm safe.
Caligari.
You have to come here, and you're never going to leave Nebraska. So I'm safe.
Fucking juice.
All right, we should go to plugs before Phoebe murders me. And first, Kyle, where can people find you at?
Well, you can find me on my very own podcast where I blabber the fuck on and talk about all things from video game music to various topics of said video games, like the Splatterhouse series and the Gambare Goemon series, and soon I will be getting back on track, and maybe, just maybe, I might be doing a Zelda retrospective with a said person of this podcast. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Y'all can expect that hopefully soon. Just, get in that spirit back, getting that podcasting spirit back. But yeah, you can find me on my very own podcast at the Unidentified Flying Obsession Podcast. Once again, that is the Unidentified Flying Obsession Podcast. You can find that wherever you get your podcasts. And you can find all of my bullshit and blathering on social media at Blue Sky, at Chibi UFO, at CHIBIUFO.bsky.social.
All right, and Phoebe.
Hi, you can find me over on Twitter and Blue Sky as the LP Princess, where I post some crazy shit. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch as the Let's Play Princess. I am currently streaming A Space for the Unbound as I very patiently wait for Rita to come out at the end of the month. And you can find me as one of the co-hosts of Nerds A Broadcast. We just recorded episode 105 with special guest one Joe Butler. Go listen to it. It will definitely expand your horizons.
All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, there are over 1,000 other episodes of this podcast. We do movies, TV shows, video games, comics, all sorts of content. You want to hear the rest of our Studio Ghibli stuff? Now this is number 5. So that's cool. So you will see it in the show notes, so check that out. If you want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. A little dollar, you can vote in our Patreon polls, and you get the episodes early and ad-free, which I think there's an ad. At the time that I'm recording, there's an ad on the show right now. Who knows how long that will last, but hey, you get them early. I release them as soon as I finish editing them. You don't have to wait the month other people do to when they come out, but everything still comes out. Nothing is behind the paywall. I will not do that. And if you donate $10 or more, I will plug your podcast or YouTube every episode I make during that month, like these lovely people. You already heard from Phoebe Stanton. Check out Zach's show, absolutely the best podcast, A Work in Progress. I'm talking about the MCU movies, and they are currently just finishing up the Alien Predator franchise. I do not know what he's up to next, so check that out. And also, make sure you check out Bill Tucker's show, A Gamer Looks at 40, and his new podcast, Carrying My Cross. And want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courage, Helena at Hell Has Free. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram, and please join our Discord. If you want to be on the show, you want to suggest things for the show, join the Discord. If you want to just chat and lurk, I'm happy. Numbers go up and I get happy. So please do that. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, audio only, and rate and reviews wherever you get your podcast. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See
Bye,
ya.
Nara.